right, look at this. A Buick Motor Division Fire Chief car, truck. What do you call it, Rick? Is it a truck or a car?
It was just a one-off pickup truck they built for the factory so they could have a little fire truck on hand. And Doug found it and restored it.
And this is Doug Seabold, expert Buick restoration guy in Elyria, Ohio.
They brought the doors over one day and they wanted gold leaf lettering on the doors, so we fixed them up with that.
Wow, gold leaf. Look at this. So that's gold leaf lettering, outlined in black.
Yeah. This is 23 karat gold.
Wow.
And this is a special silver gold. We made that look a little bit different than the lettering to just kind of set it off. And it worked out real good.
Once again, triple pinstripes down there. And of course, this is built for a fire truck here.
Yeah.
Got it.
And a little note of little Charlie history. When I was little, I used to call these fire frucks. So Dad had to explain to people he's working on his T's. People's eyes about bugged out of their heads when
that's a real nice fire fruck.
Yeah, nice fire fruck. Frickin' nice.
Frickin' beautiful.
Yeah,
look at this. Beautiful.
Yeah.
41 super convertible. Of course, I always love the convertibles, but Charlie was telling me a little bit about this Dynaflash 8. What about the carbs on this?
This is called a compound carb setup, and it's a dual carb setup from the factory, which 41 and 42, they made that an option, and it's a really rare option.
Rare. You hear that, Chris Knievel?
Rare.
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 We love to say rare on Meldrums Monster Garage.
It's two barrels, and they made it at the factory. It wasn't an add-on deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Added a little more horsepower to the whole thing.
Very cool. As we look at this beautiful sport station wagon here, I see the judges working feverishly. They're doing like a 400-point judge on a lot of this stuff. And then right next door, we got a beautiful convertible here. This is a 65 Buick Skylark convertible. And I'm going to be on the look for a 1963 Buick convertible that Mom used to have. Two. 62. I want to see if we can find one of those today and drive it home. So we thought we found one, but this is a Mordor, a crew cab. But this is what we're on the outlook for. You know, all aluminum or just partially aluminum V8.
I'm not sure.
But this very cool.
How are you?
4-door, and Mom had a 62.
That is an aluminum block.
Yep.
And head and manifold.
Oh, this is
All right, this
here.
is the man. This is the owner. What's your name?
My name is Peter Birkin.
Peter. Nice car.
I'm from Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
All right.
Nice.
Well, welcome to Meldrums Monster Garage. You've got all three Meldrums today. Usually only one Meldrum.
Nice to meet you. How are
But nice to meet you, and we're admiring your car because our mother had a 1962 Buick convertible, brand new, back in the day, white with red interior. And not only did my brother Rick learn how to drive in that car, Mom learned how to drive. Mom did not start driving until she was 40 years old. And she had me when she was 42, late in life.
What do you mean?
So, what do you mean? So it's special to see a car very similar to what she had, at least in the engine compartment.
It really is.
And we appreciate the little tour here. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
We're going to get the interior.
Sure. This car smells real good too.
Does it smell?
Smell it.
All right.
It just smells like, I don't know, cigars.
Oh, yeah. It's got that 60s smell.
It does.
And I always say that's a preservative oil that infiltrated all the interior on these cars, because when I worked at the factory, I would smell that preservative oil, and but this one's got a little cigar tinge to it, so interesting.
What's the name of the color?
Cadet blue.
Cadet blue.
Cadet blue. Cadet blue. Very cool.
Advertisement that gives all the colors of that year.
Yeah.
Cadet blue is amongst them.
Oh, man.
Very cool. All right, now we're looking at a beautiful 1970 Skylark Custom convertible, and I had a 1971 Skylark Custom Convertible that this guy actually did most of the work on. He did the restoration work on it.
We restored it and we put an engine in it, and it was a really nice car.
Yeah. Charlie's got stories.
Yeah, 20 minutes after he bought it back from the body shop, I used to ride my bicycle around the house.
Oh no.
And he had it on the racetrack. And I slid into the rear quarter panel and
Put a dent in it.
Dad was like, God damn it. And I'm like, I'm okay.
Stuff, yeah, I'm okay. Cute. Stuff happens around these cars. They all get little dings and scratches, but
20 minutes after he brought it back
oh
from
my
the
gosh.
Yeah. Damn kids.
That's terrible. So the car went through a couple different owners before I actually purchased it back.
Yeah.
And then I had it for a while and a deer ran into the side of it.
Oh man.
And yeah. So then I got the dent out of that and got a new door and got it painted again.
Yeah.
And then finally I sold it to my best friend's mom, and she drove it for a while, and then she parked it in the barn. And just love how people walk through your film there. And then
I got a thing for that too. You better not say it though.
and then it rotted basically into the barn floor. So when I hauled it out of there, I bought it back a second time for $500 because I wanted it for a parts car. I hauled it out, and unfortunately the frame snapped right in half. So it made its way to Reed's, which is one of Charlie's favorite junkyards.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of good parts out of it.
Oh, he did. There were some good Chevelle parts.
I remember the first time I heard King Tut, we were riding in this Convertible.
There you go.
Butternut Ridge by BFI.
There you go.
The Meldrum stories they're rolling, Tay.
You're in an element.
Yeah.
Bore your people to death.
Absolutely. I got another cool story. When my dad retired in 1973, one of his last company cars that he purchased was a 73 Buick Century. It was blue with a white top, and it was called the 350 edition. Now, it wasn't called the 350 edition because it had a 350 4-barrel like this car. That was just a package. And we used to tell people that, oh yeah, Dad saw this car going down the assembly line. It was supposed to be a 350 and he had a 455 put into it. Well, that wasn't the story. That was a good story, but that's not the actual story because I still have the window sticker from this car, and 350 is just an appearance package for this car, and you could order the 455 in there. So he had that car for a while. He sold it to the neighbor, and the neighbor found out that this was a great engine for pulling boats.
Oh, yeah.
So for years, Louis Bateman pulled a boat with this car until it basically rusted to death and went to Reed's junkyard.
Imagine that, a boat pulling a boat.
A boat pulling a boat. But this is a cool car too, and it brings back memories, and I like seeing it. Very cool. All right, here we go. Give the lady what she wants. Marshall Field Company. And what a cool car this is.
Yeah,
so,
80 for sure.
Marshall Field Company, I'm not familiar with. Maybe my brother is.
No, I don't know much about it, but it's a really cool car. It's got
It
gold
is.
leaf lettering on it. And just all the bells and whistles that you could have.
Junk for your trunk.
Yeah, junk for your trunk.
1933, yeah.
1933. Wow. Look at this thing. Very beautiful. Let's go around to the engine compartment.
I think what they do.
Oh, this is a more modern engine here.
Yeah.
This is sneaky.
They spiffed it up.
Yeah, this is sneaky. Yep. And they've got the back seat open. Look at that suicide door.
Oh, I know.
And they got all the packages in here.
Yep.
Wow.
They also have a vehicle tax from the World's Fair at 1933.
No kidding.
Oh man.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Just look at it.
Just look at that.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Rare.
That is. Wow.
There she is. 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. Buick Grand National. Now, I had my choice when I graduated from college to get basically any car I wanted. And this was one of my choices. And unfortunately, I didn't choose it. I chose a 1985 Trans Am, which I have to this day. But this was the car to have back in the 80s. The turbocharged motor in here was phenomenal at the drag strip, and I would drag race my Trans Am, and it would get promptly whooped on by these cars. Very cool. Everybody's got a little junk in their trunk back here, and we're appreciating it here. Look at this cooler and whatnot. That's a very, like I said, Rick said, we're in the modified section now. Yep. And we're checking things out. This one's got a flat paint on the bottom, shiny on the top. And then Lizzie looks pretty cool with this crazy intake system.
It's a straight 8, and it's got a lot of upgrades on it to make it 12 volt and more modern, and air conditioning probably. I don't see it.
Still got a generator on it though.
That may be one of those that's an alternator, but it looks like a generator.
Very cool.
But it's definitely a cool car.
Beautiful convertible here.
Oh yeah, that's a 49 Buick.
Wow, what is this? Very similar to the Rain Man Buick convertible?
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, just a different color.
Yeah, it's the Roadmaster, and it's just gorgeous.
Wow. And on a day like this, it's hot. It's about 85 degrees. And I bet you even this white interior would be hot on your butt. Look at that dash. Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I don't know what's modified about it, but...
Now this doesn't have the torpedo trunk like yours does, Rick. What do they call this type of trunk?
A bustle, I guess.
A bustle.
Yeah.
Huh. It looks like a bustle.
They did make a seatonette that year.
In a convertible?
Not in a
convertible. Not a convertible.
That would have been a nice looking car too.
Yeah.
But there's not much room in those. This has got a lot of room.
Look at those ports. 4 ports.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, we're going to look at this 1960 LeSabre and do a shout out to my brother Chick. He has and I always mispronounce this. Pronounce it for me, Rick. He has a
Invicta.
A 1960 Invicta. I always like to add syllables to it, like Invicta.
No,
but
don't do that.
but it's very similar to his car. It looks a little shorter to me. Is it?
I don't know.
It's a LeSabre. It looks, I don't know. But it's a convertible. His is red with white top.
Yeah.
You got a very similar nail head motor. And the windshield wiper motor that I've done so many videos on is the same there.
There you go.
And it's just a neat car.
Well, you're gonna drive it.
Beautiful interiors on these cars. Wow. Somebody set off an alarm, so wasn't me. But just a neat car.